What is happening, everybody? What's good, Finns Nation? All you football fans out there. Um, and with the end of the season now, into the Dolphins season, I've got some nice little information for you guys. Just going to be going through how exactly Dolphins can clear $60 million in cap space. That's right, $60 million to make space to sign free agents, sign the draft class, and fill out any other areas of the team that we need to fill out, during pre-season or training camp and things like that. Okay, so just going to be running through what players can be restructured and things like that. Alrighty, so let's get to it. So this season, spending flexibility shouldn't be a problem for us. We hear that the team does plan to clear out substantial cap space, and restructuring Nadamakan Sue is the thing that really appeals to the team and obviously appeals to us Dolphins fans. His cap hit is just absolutely humongous at $26.1 million. So absolutely have to lower that. That's just quarterback money right there, and we can't afford to keep paying him like we are, especially now him being 30 years old and he's still a dominant player. He still commands double teams. He still forces teams to run away from him, but he is 30 years old now, and he's not 25 anymore. So even though his play really hasn't dipped, and he's still played I think he played like he nearly played 800 snaps this year. So he played like 80% of the snaps. So still a beast, still very durable, but he definitely did wear down the last couple of games. He didn't get any tackles, and his sack numbers also have dropped from his first year with us and till his second year. So we could save $12 million in 2018 by converting that cap hit into a signing bonus, which would reduce his hit to $14 million, but come with future cap consequences. Also on the books, a smaller restructuring is a possibility. So yeah, many ways that we can go about lowering Ndamukong Suh's cap hit this off season and beyond. We enter this off season with about $17 million in cap space. That's before restructuring and cutting players. But a team source has said believes that the team can clear out $60 million if it wants. So here's how that's likely going to be done. With the Sue restructure, using that $12 million conversion would give Miami $29 million in cap space. So changing that $26 million cap hit into a signing bonus, which is very possible, which is what we did, when we first brought him over. And here's the obvious players who are going to be released this season and will give us, great breathing room. Cutting Julius Thomas, which will save $6.6 million and will raise our salary cap to $36 million. And also dumping Lawrence Timmons, which is very likely, and it does carry $2.75 million in dead money, but it will save us $5.5 million, which is, a great little number. And that will bring our cap space to $41 million. Releasing Juwan James, his $9.3 million fifth-year option, and would increase our cap space to $51 million. So already with just those four moves, we're up to $51 million already. We could offer him a contract with a lower salary, which I think we definitely should do. I think it would be fair to offer him something like starting at like $6 million, $7 million in the first year. So maybe 5 years, $30 million, or 4 years, 4 years, $28 million, something like that. I think that's really fair for Juwan James. Regardless, James is not expected to return at his $9.3 million salary, which is, pretty obvious at this point. If he was an outstanding right tackle who was very consistent and didn't have these injuries, he definitely would be getting that $9.3 million. No questions asked. To get to that $60 million figure, we could restructure Ryan Tannehill and Mike Pouncey, and we can always renegotiate Cam Wake's contract. Cam Wake's due to make $8 million next season with an $8.6 million cap hit. And you could kind of tell in the second half of the season he did wear down a bit. He did get to 10 sacks, but he didn't look as explosive as years past. So we definitely should be asking him to take less money. He will probably be 36, and a 36-yard pass rusher shouldn't be making $8 million. That's way too much. Even though he did get 10 sacks, I don't think we should be paying him that much. And also Rashad Jones, Andre Branch, Kenny Stills, and Kiko Alonso, they have higher cap numbers if they were cut than if they were kept. So there's no point of cutting them. It would just eat into our cap space even more. And that's according to overthecap.com. So persuading Branch and Alonso to restructure will be very difficult, especially being in the second year of the contract. But I don't see it being maybe Andre Branch would restructure. He really only gave us 4 sacks this season, and I know he was injured, but his production does not equate to his salary. And there's also 11 players that are only due to make $2 million or less next season, $2 million or more. And of those 7 players, earning between $1 and $2 million in base salary next season, Devontae Parker, Laramie Tunsil, TJ McDonald, Ted Larson, Xavier Howard, Stephon Anthony, and Jordan Phillips. Nothing realistic nothing should really be done with those contracts unless cutting Larson, who's due to make $1.9 million for 2018, which is great value for a guard or a starting guard. I don't really see him as a starting guard. We should be taking Quentin Nelson, but who knows? He might be our left guard again next season. So clearing out $60 million necessarily, it won't be difficult for the team, to get to $60 million. And $60 million is a number that the team believes that they can get to. However, enough will be cleared out to resign Jarvis Landry, signing the draft class, and having a cushion for money heading into camp, and acquiring players to fill multiple needs. We definitely need a starting linebacker. We need another young defensive end, at least one starting offensive lineman, a guard. We need 1 to 2 tight ends. We definitely need a running back to complement Kenyon Drake. Maybe even become the starter. Who knows? We need a quarterback to develop behind Tannehill, and that's pretty much it. And these needs will be addressed. All these needs will be addressed in the draft and free agency. So there's many ways we can fill these needs. And Miami definitely wants to sign Cody Parkey. I think he definitely deserves a nice contract. Maybe give him. He is young, so maybe give him like a $4 or $5 million contract. So Cody Parkey definitely should be brought back. He's very consistent this year. Cool, calm, collected kicker who really helped us win multiple games this year. So yeah, that's pretty much how we can clear up to $60 million in cap space. If we can't get guys like Mike Pouncey and Tannehill and Branch to restructure, we're probably going to be sitting at $51 million, which is still a giant number. So yeah, that's great. And there's always other ways we can bring that $51 million up. There's always little ways to do it, which I'm sure the Dolphins will do. But yeah, $51 million should be fine, but we can get to $60 million in cap space for the 2018 off-season. Alrighty, guys, that's it for this one. So yeah, even though we will be, especially this season, we were very cap-struck, especially with the Jay Cutler signing. We had less than $1 million in cap space this year, so that's why we didn't sign anyone else. But Jay Cutler won't be back next season. Say goodbye to that $10 million. But yeah, many ways we can open up giant cap space this off-season, and with the salary cap also, being a larger number, it's always going to help us out. Alrighty, guys, fins up, baby. I'll see you guys in the next one.